Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today is one of my favorite videos to do at the end of the year, and it's going to be my bookish awards, my book awards. I love sitting down at the end of the year and thinking about not only my favorite and least favorite books of the year, but just like memorable books that stand out to me for one reason or another. And today we're talking about them, and I'm so excited. I've added a few more categories than I had the previous year if you watched my channel in 2021, or I guess the beginning of 2022 when I talked about my favorites and so on from last year. But if you saw that, I did add a couple extra bits of things that I just wanted to shout out that I thought were memorable, that I wanted to remember, so on and so forth. So let's just jump right in. Let's just talk about all of the things from this year, shall we? So the first question is most surprising book of 2022. I'm gifting this to two books. One being Book of Night by Holly Black, because I gave it 4 stars. I enjoyed the audiobook. I understood enough of it to enjoy it. I didn't really need like consistent answers to the world or anything. I actually thought the world and the magic system were really interesting. I am a newly discovered big fan of Holly Black's writing, young adult or otherwise. I'm really excited. I will be reading this again come whenever the sequel is gonna be released, but I really enjoyed it. I heard so many bad reviews. Everybody hated it. It was like 2 stars for most booktubers. It was incredibly disliked. I still don't really know why, but I read this before I read The Cruel Prince. It didn't change my way about it. Maybe upon a reread I'll be like, I see what everyone means, this is terrible. But as of now, like, I really enjoyed it, which was a surprise because everybody was just dragging it to hell in bits and pieces. The other book that I want to honorable mention surprised me was Galatea by Madeline Miller. This was a novella, like very short story of like the mythology of Galatea but modernized. I thought it was so good. It was so surprising. Not only like I have very little mythology like knowledge in my brain, that was not really something I studied in school or anything, so I didn't know what I was getting into, but oh boy howdy was it a lot. And it was so good. It was so well written. I love stories of women going mad. I don't know what that says about me, but I'm really like enjoying that. Like The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte something Perkins something. It's just like it's a trope, it's a story that I enjoy, and I was blown away by Galatea. Like I had no clue what I was expecting, and just like boom, so good. So yeah, that was just one of those stories that I was just like, this is wonderful. I love this. So that was definitely like a surprising book of this year. As for most disappointing, I think it would be The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. I was really excited going into this. This was a Literally Dead book club pick. The first one of the year? Second one? I don't remember anymore. But I was really excited. I hadn't read Lucy Foley before. I know that the guest list is incredibly loved, very popular. So I was like, cool, I'm gonna jump into something that's gonna be so fun. It wasn't. I didn't like most of the characters, if any at all. I didn't enjoy like where the story went. It was incredibly obvious what was happening and where like her missing brother was mostly. I was just so disappointed with this. I gave it 2 stars. I didn't have fun with it. It wasn't good. I remember it enough, but not really. Like I remember the second half, because the second half I thought had such potential, but like it just didn't, it wasn't good. I didn't like it. I know a lot of people did, so it's not a me thing, but it's not like it's not a definite like bad book or anything. This is one that some people enjoy, others don't. It's very mixed reviews for this, but yeah, this one was probably my most disappointing. So this next question, question 3, is the most beautiful cover or my favorite cover. I don't have like a good answer, but I am going with the If We Were Villains 5th anniversary edition by ML Rio. I'm honestly just like super into this. It's so pretty. It's so well done. I'm obsessed. Is it because I'm biased and I love the book? Probably. Maybe. Is it because it's also illustrated? Slightly. A little bit. That just makes it all the world better. I was so excited. This is my first copy of a book that I truly like adore. So it was a big deal for me when I saw this come out, and I pre-ordered it, and I impatiently waited for it for way too long. But it was definitely one of those covers that I was just like, yes, please, please, please. It's so pretty. Is it the best cover of the year? Not really, but nothing super stands out except for like obvious special editions of books. Another cover that I do really enjoy is the special edition, if I'm gonna pick out a special edition, is Hotel Magnifique by Emily J. Taylor. This was an Owl Crate edition. I just love the color scheme. I love the actual like book itself. I thought was just like very well done. The end pages especially, I'm just like obsessed with it. I think it was super well done. It's one of my favorite editions. My other thing about like special editions is you always get like beautiful art. And this is art that I just really enjoyed. Like overall, I got so many beautiful special editions. This is not necessarily like the best special edition I have, but it's definitely one that I remember getting. And especially because it was earlier in the year, that it was very memorable for me. This one has a little special place in my heart. I haven't read it yet, which is soon, I promise. Yeah. Oh, for this we have to grab. You already know this was gonna make a feature, didn't you? Question number 4, most memorable character. Alistair Lowe. I adore him. I probably have more tabs for him and Isabel than anybody else in this entire book. I love him and his like crazy evil family. Oh, it's so fun. It's so good. Him and his brother's relationship was really cute and adorable. His relationship with Isabel was like interesting, I'll say. I really like this book. I know a lot of people don't. That's cool. But Alistair Lowe was definitely one of my favorite characters of the year. I just remember him so well. I'm so excited to like be in this world and like be in his chapters. They were chapters I always look forward to, so he's very memorable in my heart. Question number 5, most beautifully written book. Bestie, she read it. She reads. Finally, I read The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. Oh boy, howdy, did this take me way too long to get around to, like literally 2 full years, which is so embarrassing. I finally read it, and let me tell you, I love it. I'm so obsessed with it. This, like, I've still not properly like reviewed this book. I don't think I can, but I adore this with my whole being. It's so well written. It's like so well written. It's absolutely fantastic. I recommend this to anybody and everyone who has not read it. If you have any slight interest in it, I do recommend. You may not like it, that's not my fault, but you will at least appreciate the writing style. So yeah, this is definitely like the most beautifully written book. It had me thinking so much. I flew through it. Question number 6 is the like book that made me think the most, that was most thought-provoking or life-changing. You already know, Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. I freaking adore these books so much. They're so good. They're so great. They just made me so happy. They all made me sob. Not literally, but they did make me like a little teary-eyed. I definitely felt for all of these characters who could go back to moments in this cafe and like get closure and like have conversations with loved ones who might have passed or whatever. Like, it's just a very emotional journey. It really made me consider life as a whole and how I want to treat people and how I want to remember moments, and I really enjoyed the conversation of closure. So yeah, that's definitely like a not necessarily life-changing, but definitely thought-provoking book. Next question is the best debut that I read. I don't really track authors' debuts and like what debuts I'm reading. I probably should, but I don't. But one that does stick out that I really, really enjoyed was Woman Eating by Claire Coda. So good. It's so good. It's a like literary vampire story, but like rather modern vampire on their own for the first time in school for art and trying to like get a hold of pig blood to drink, and it's just like the writing is beautiful. the story is so nice, but like slightly mundane, like nothing really is like happening, but like so much happens. That's very character driven, and if you've read literary fiction, like, you totally get it. But it's definitely one that stands out to me, and I really enjoyed it. And for it being like an author's debut, beautiful, so beautifully written. I just really the narrator too, the narrator is so good. All right, next is best world building, and for that I did go with Pierce Brown's Red Rising's saga. The whole world, there's so much. There's like a whole like class system with the golds and the reds and the pinks and greens and blues and so many more. There's like different, like, our main character Darrow, who is a red, lived in Mars. Like, there's so much world building to it. There's so much that has gone into this world. There's so much love and care, and it's just beautifully crafted. So hands down, best world building ever. The next question is a book that made me cry, and when I tell you I sobbed, I'm not joking. I listened to the audiobook for A Man Called Ova, and this is written by Frederick Bachman. I sobbed. I cried so hard to the audiobook. Most of the time audiobooks don't get me. My cat is playing. I'm really sorry if you can hear her. But I full cried. Like, I was listening to the audiobook on a drive home from Portland, which is like 2 hours, and I'm listening to it, having a great old time. I get home, I listen to the last hour, and I just sat at my desk sobbing, like full tears. I have a video of it. Like, I cried so hard, so much. It was beautiful. It was heartbreaking. It was everything that I wanted it to be. It was such a good time, even though it was so sad. Number 10 is the best plot twist of the year, and I think I have to give it to The Plot by Jean Krelitz, I think. I'm so sorry. Oh, this book though. This story is such a wild ride because you're following an author, and it's a love story to writing and publishing and all that jazz, and it definitely raises the question of like stealing work and so on, which was a very interesting conversation, and I still don't know where I landed. But you are following an author during this plot, but you're also getting a book within a book, which I know a lot of people don't enjoy, but it's done so well because like the book is based on like life, and like, what book is not based on some life? Okay, anyway, but like the plot twist at the very end, like it got me. I was reading this book and I was like, why is this book so profound? I don't understand, it doesn't make sense. But then like the book has a plot twist, but then like the book itself has a plot twist, and you're just like, what? There's so many twists. I thought it was incredibly well done. I thought it was so good. I highly recommend this book. It was like chef's kiss. I did not think I was going to enjoy it or like it this much, but like so good. The next question is favorite book read by a familiar author. I kind of twisted this to a book by an author I'm familiar with but did not originally like, and that's What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. I didn't enjoy The Hollow Places in 2021, I'm gonna be honest. Was that, oh no, that was 2022? I don't remember. I did not really enjoy The Hollow Places, but I absolutely adored What Moves the Dead. This is an Edgar Allan Poe retelling of The Fall of the House of Usher. It's really more like a extended version of the original source material, and it's so good. It's very short. I love Horvella? Okay. Horror novella, but like Horvella too. I think it's just like the perfect size for horror. This is so eerie. The imagery, the root of the mystery, so good. I really enjoyed this, which is interesting because again, I didn't think that T. Kingfisher was for me, and now I'm on the fence, and I will be trying more T. Kingfisher in the future and picking up more to see like where I truly land, whether this was a fluke or not. So yeah, this is definitely a book that I really enjoyed by an author I was familiar with but didn't like. Yeah, any author that I'm like familiar with, I typically continue reading because I enjoy them, so that was my best bet. The next question is favorite book based off a recommendation, like a book that a friend recommended. I was recommended a few things throughout the year that I obviously enjoyed, but the most surprising one of them all would be The Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis. I read this with my boyfriend, but we listened to the audiobook together. We listened to the audiobook that's like full production. There's sound effects, there's the best narrator potentially in the whole wide world. Like, absolutely incredible. Like, if you're going to read the Screwtape Letters, I do recommend that way. I don't know which version that is because it was not, I don't know, but it was fantastic. I definitely need to read this again because it took us many months to listen to the audiobook just because it's hard to find the time. So I definitely want to sit down and like listen and read the book again to like get the full story. But I loved the audiobook so much, and the narrator did so good with the sound effects and everything. The story itself is also really good. It's like the you're following C.S. Lewis's edition on like what he pictures demons to kind of be like and live like. It's kind of satirical, I guess. I don't know how to describe this, but it was really good, okay? I really liked it. That's all I have for you. The next question, which is a new edition, is the smuttiest book that I read. That would go to Black Sunshine by Karina Hall. Karina Hawley, I still haven't figured that out. This was so not what I expected it to be. I knew it was about vampires. That's it. I went into this one evening. It was also like, what's the word? Like, daylight savings. And so we had like an extra hour. And I did not sleep this night. I listened to the audiobook until like 5 in the morning. And oh boy, smut. Smut central. Like chapter 3. And you're getting right into the smut. It was very like, whoa. I did, though, very much enjoy the book. There was definitely like more plot towards the end. I liked the romantic interest a lot. So I need to continue with the series and finish it. But I did actually like enjoy it, which is new to me because I don't read a lot of romance. I don't read a lot of smut, but like I enjoyed it. But that's the smuttiest. Oh boy. The next is Guilty Pleasure series that I started. I really just wanted to talk about the fact that I started the Luck series by Jennifer Armentrout, and I freaking love it. It is so like 2012 era-esque like writing. It's exactly what you picture. It really brings me back to like reading One Direction fanfiction. I just am so in love with it. I only read the first 3, the 1, the 1.5, and the 2 in the series so far. I have full plans to continue, but this is my guilty pleasure series now. Like, it's so bad it's good. I shouldn't enjoy it. It doesn't necessarily age bad, but it doesn't age well either. But like, I really like it. I love it. It's so good, but so bad. Don't necessarily recommend, but just good. The next question is one that I put in here because there's just one specific book that I just needed to talk about a little bit more on my channel. And this question goes to the most like underhyped book, Earth Eater by Dolores Reyes. Wow, this book I read in February, and my channel was smaller then, like significantly smaller for a small channel, and I don't think enough people really have an interest. Like, I wouldn't say that video was good like at all, but the book was so good. I read it for like reading like an Aquarius for my birthday vlog. This book is so good. Like, it is so interesting. I had no clue what I was getting into, but like, it's hard hitting, but it's just beautiful and so fantastic about this girl who can eat, like literal, like she eats dirt, and she can see how people passed away, and she's like able to help and assist in some ways, but she's also like a teenager, and like that's really hard for her. And it's so fantastic, and I just need more people to read it and enjoy it and give it the love that I think it deserves. And the next question is the most unique book that I read, and it goes to The Last House on Abigail Lane by Keelan Patrick Burke. Oh my goodness, this book. I devoured it in one sitting. It's rather short. Most Keelan Patrick Burke's works are short, and I thoroughly enjoyed this one. It was so different and unique. You're following the history of the house. You're following the people who have interacted with it and who have lived there, and like this big mystery, and it is so bonkers. Like, it is a bizarre book, but it was like so good. It's so good. I can't like say a lot without spoiling it, but like I highly recommend you read it and pick it up. The ebook is on Scribd. You can buy the paperback version on Amazon for like relatively cheap. I truly highly recommend it. Like, it's so different. It's like nothing I've ever read before, but it's like so So good. The next question is the best audiobook that I read, and it has to go, although I've read quite a few good ones. The best is The Weight of Blood by Tiffany D. Jackson. The production on this book is top notch. Like, it is so good. It was so well done. I wish that White Smoke had this kind of love and care, and maybe that's why they decided to go this route, the publisher, because they heard criticism on White Smoke and the narrator just being monotone and kind of flat for a horror. Like, there wasn't a lot going on with them. It was just very like, here's the story. And so it was very nice to have a different story with multiple narrations. There was a jingle when it switched over to the podcast. Like, it just was incredibly well done. I absolutely adored it. I thought it was fantastic. It's a Carrie retelling, so it was already like a story I was kind of familiar with, but like, it was so good. I really enjoyed the story. I really loved the characters. I really enjoyed like the ending and like everything about it. Like, it was just very good, but the like audiobook production of it was also so good. All right, and now we're on to like the second to last question. The last question I'm so scared to answer, but this first question is going to be the best readathon that I participated in. Obviously, I'm biased to the fact that I co-hosted a readathon with my friends Eliza, Daphne, and Kaylee. We hosted Dex the Hall's readathon, which was a backlist readathon that we did in December, like for the whole month, where we read backlist books basically off our shelf, completed a bingo board. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing that with them. They had a lot of fun. We had a lot of people participate. It was just like a really good time overall. I adored it. But besides that, the obvious answer has to be the fact that G has once again outdone themselves with the magical readathon. There was the August spring semester, autumn equinox semester, and then December there was the fall of light. There was the December mini readathon, which was just like incredibly done. I'm obsessed with the world. I'm obsessed with everything that G has done, the love that has gone into all of it. It is hands down like my favorite readathon. I will continue to participate in it. It has inspired me so much. I hope to show more of like my own journey within this readathon next year. But I guess this year, 2023, I hope to show a lot more of what's going on with my personal journey in the magical readathon. But it's been so much fun. It is so well done. Yeah, hats off. Like, if I ever do like my own readathon, I would love it to be something like this. Like, it's just so good. And now we're into the tricky one. Best booktubers discovered this year. Literally too many. Like, I should just like have my like subscriptions here and just like scroll for like a while, because I've found so many amazing booktubers that I'm, one, obsessed with, and two, some that I've become good friends with, and I just think like their channels are remarkable. I cannot say enough good things about the people that I've met through this year, and this year alone because of BookTube and Bookstagram. Like, it's just, it's fantastic. I love the fact that like I'm starting to grow my own community, and that's the whole reason why I started doing this in the first place, and it's just a lot of fun. So yeah, I found a lot. So I'm just gonna like name a few off the top of my head. If I forget people, I'm embarrassed and I'm so sorry. If like you have suggestions, let me know. But these are gonna be like at least my friends who I met this year, whose channels I found that I think are great. I'm sorry. Ali Priest, Ali Do Is Read, which is such a good name. Reading with Merb, Eliza's Bookshelf, Being Daphne, Kaylee's Quiet Corner, Violet Pages, Melody Rose. This is why I don't do these things. It stresses me out. Yeah, those are a few. I'm so sorry. I hate shouting people out because like there's too many people, and if I like miss people, then it's like, you suck, and that's really embarrassing. But again, like the scrolling list, like it's fine, right? I'm sorry. So yeah, that's everything for this book awards of 2022. That's everything that I have to mention. I will be very soon coming out with the best and worst. I'm gonna do separate videos this year. Last time I mixed them together because I just didn't have enough, but I've deemed it 10 each, give or take, but 10 each. that I'm going to talk about very soon. I'm nervous to talk about my least favorites and my favorites. I never know what's gonna happen, but overall, those are coming soon, along with a few other things to end the year, and then we'll jump into like new content, which I'm so excited about. I'm so ready for like new things this year. But that's gonna be it from me. Give this video a like if you enjoyed, subscribe down below if you want to see more from me, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!